Hello! Today I'm in Bluefield, West Virginia, doing some geocaching and hopefully finishing up my Tools of the Trade treasure collection. This first cache is called Bottoms Up. It's by a geocacher named Pelchard, who is very active in this area in the Princeton, Bluefield, Beckley, West Virginia area. I'm very excited to find this one because it should earn me the very last Tools of the Trade treasure if I find it and can access the log. If you've seen some of my other videos, I have not been successful on all of those caches, so I'm going to show you where I'm going. Almost looks like there were houses here at one time, but they're not here. Look, there's a foundation for a house. So I'm going to look around here and see what I can find. Okay, I have found the cache in this ammo can. And here is what is inside. Evil, evil, evil. Okay, I didn't have to go through too many to find the one with the log. Let's see if I can get it out and get it signed. Okay, that was a fun cache. I'm going to give that one a favorite point. Thanks, Pelchard, for placing the cache and for allowing me to use it in my video. So now on to the next one. This next cache is called Hook, Line, and Sinker. I'm at Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I'm at Bluefield City Park, and I'm walking by some old looks like old baseball fields that aren't being used anymore, and it's somewhere on the other side of these baseball fields. I've got my Tools of the Trade ready. Bottoms Up was my 3,199th find. So if I find Hook, Line, and Sinker, it will be number 3,200. I have about 7 geocaches on my list for today. 3 of them are targeted caches that have the 3 difficulty and the Tools of the Trade attribute. There are also some other ones. There's 1 or 2 more in this park that I might try to find as well, and then we'll go from there. I'm seeing a little bit of a geo trail here. I'm going to follow it. I don't think I parked in the right place. I did put on bug spray, and I'm gonna I may have to go find another place to park. I don't think I want to go through there. Okay, I'm going to see if the other parking spot would be better, because there was so much tall grass and so much beautiful wildflowers. Beautiful field of wildflowers. I don't want to go traipsing through there. And I would have had to go almost or over 200 feet. So don't want to do that. Meanwhile, I think I'm going to make number 3,200 a different cache, because there is one very close to where I parked. This cache is called the Evil Caboose. It is another cache by Pelchard, and let me tell you, anytime there's a cache hidden on a caboose, it is almost always evil. I'm gonna give this a good look around, and maybe I'll find it. I found the cache, and I'm not gonna spoil it. So just as I was finishing up with the Evil Caboose cache, some guys drove up and started hitting golf balls across that baseball field right towards ground zero of the hook, line, and sinker cache. So I decided to skip that one for now. I am now heading toward a cache called Diabolical Delight. This is at a medical center here. I'll show you where I'm going. And there's a huge parking lot. And it's somewhere over there. I lied, it's somewhere over here. Went too far, overshot it. It's a gadget cache. Do you see anything that looks like a gadget? So y'all, I was walking in the opposite direction of the Diabolical cache, and I was walking toward a different cache called In the Pines, looking for something completely different, not a gadget cache, in the pines. I'm here among the pines, so maybe we'll find this one first, and then we'll do the Diabolical one. Found it. This one's also by Handyman Joe, who hid the Diabolical Delight cache, which I'm hopefully going to find next. I left my pen in the car. I gotta go back and get it before I can log the cache. What is the most important tool of the trade in geocaching? A pen or a pencil. Another fun cache. I actually have a couple of 3D printed pine cones at home that I bought at Geo Woodstock from a guy named Julian, who is, I forget the company's name. If I find out, I'll put it up here. But apparently he's pretty well known in the geocaching community for making some real cool 3D printed caches. He had all kinds of neat ones there. There was a person walking laps around the parking lot, around the part where the gadget cache is. Somewhere in these trees, I think. Diabolical Delight. Okay, so I've opened up all the caps. 2 of them have a bolt attached to them, and the rest of them are decoys. I have to figure out what I need to do with these. And I did notice that this side has 2 dots on either end, and I wonder if it has something to do with that. I'm going to try and see what I can do with it. Well, that doesn't seem to be it. Somehow you've got to figure out how to open this box. Well, I'm going to have to log a DNF on that one. I found the cache, started working the puzzle, and then got stuck. I'm not sure if there are magnets in there somewhere, or maybe there are electronics in there and there's batteries that are dead. I have no idea. I'm going to have to PAF, phone a friend. But meanwhile, there's one more cache over at this medical center. And then I think I'll have time to go back to try to find the hook, line, and sinker. Somebody just asked me if I needed help. No thanks, I'm good. And here's the cache. On the cache page, it talks a little bit about the geology of this. So, not an earth cache, but an interesting little geology lesson. I am back at Bluefield City Park. I parked in the designated parking coordinates, and I think I know what trail I'm supposed to take to get to the cache. So hopefully we will come back with a smiley on this one. This looks promising right here. Maybe. We'll see. This cache was placed on August 9th of this year. Today is the 27th. It so far has only one find, so I will be the second to find if I find this one and can sign the log. Since I'm finished with tools of the trade, so far, as of today, there have not been any announcements about what kind of treasures are coming out or when. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to start chipping away at some counties in Maryland and West Virginia. So we'll see how that goes. And maybe even work on the Jasmer challenge, which means the Jasmer challenge is finding a cache that was published in every month since geocaching began in May of 2000. So I might start working on that as well. So this cache will be one for August of 2025 because that's when it was placed. So yay. Well, according to my phone, I am at ground zero. And the cache page says, you will spot the host right away. I don't spot anything. I might have to DNF this one too. Okay, I think I found it. What else? What other pipe would be painted camouflage colors? All right, let's see if we can figure this out. This looks suspiciously like a magnet. Nope, there's nothing in there. That's 0 for 3 on gadget caches today. That's why I picked out 3 that could potentially earn that one last tools of the trade treasure. And luckily it was on the first one. The other 2 were going to be bonuses. Couldn't get into either one of those. There's one more cache in this park I'm going to look for before I finally call it a day. So wish me luck. The cache I'm looking for is called Cookout. It was placed by the handyman Joe, worthy of love, and Joseph Jr. family. I have met them several times at events, and I hope I can end today with a smiley. Let's see. And in typical runner cacher fashion, I went the wrong way. I didn't study the map as carefully as I needed to. It is up this way. So I found that cache. I'm not going to spoil the exact location, but the cache is called Cookout. So this might give you a big clue where to look. So thank you, Pelchard, Handyman Joe, Worthy of Love, Joseph Jr., and JMT67 for a great day of geocaching on this beautiful late summer afternoon that feels like fall. I will be back to avenge those 2 DNFs. Maybe bring someone with me to help me figure out how to get into those 2 gadget caches, or phone a friend, or get some hints, something like that. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for more geocaching adventures. Happy running, happy hiking, and happy geocaching. Bye!